Hello students, this is your English teacher Shilpi Agrawal. Today I am going to teach you the poem from the book Buzzword, which is Ozymandias. Ozymandias is a poem which is composed by P.B. Shelley. Percy Bysshe Shelley was a renowned poet of the Romantic Age and one of the finest lyric poets in English literature. Let's know about the background of the poem. This poem, Ozymandias, is a poem of 14 lines, and a poem of 14 lines is known as a sonnet. This poem is divided into two stanzas. One stanza is of 8 lines, which is known as octave, and the other is of 6 lines, which is called as a sestet. Now, this title Ozymandias is actually the throne name of the Egyptian king Ramesses. Ozymandias was the Greek name given to the king Ramesses II. In this, the poet says that the powerful king was foolish as he thought that erecting a huge statue, erecting means constructing a huge statue, symbolized his power, but today the statue no longer exists. It has become a ruin. The poet says that this powerful king, what he thought, that if he is going to erect a huge statue of him, that statue is going to symbolize his power, that how powerful he was. But in the present situation, that statue is no longer, it has been shattered, it can be seen broken, and it has become a ruin. Let's understand the very first stanza of 8 lines of this poem. I met a traveler from an antique land. Antique means ancient. This I stands for the poet. The poet is saying that he met a person, he met a traveler who has been to an ancient place in the deserts of Egypt. Who said, this who stands for the traveler, who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone. Vast means big, trunkless means without a body. Who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Now that traveler told the poet, he tells the poet about the ruined statue of the great powerful king Ozymandias. What he saw, the traveler found that there was a statue which was very huge, very big, but was without a body. It was made up of stone. It was standing in the desert, but the statue was ruined. The statue was destroyed. Half sunk, a shattered visage. Shattered means destroyed. Visage means face. Now this traveler, what he saw that there was the statue, and as you can see in the picture, can you see this face? This face, it was half sunk in the mud and half it was above. So that traveler told the poet that the statue had been destroyed with the passage of time. There were only the 2 legs, as you can see in the picture. There were only 2 legs which stood on a platform. Here it is a platform. On this platform only 2 legs are there. Trunkless legs means legs without the upper body. So what he found? He found 2 legs which stood on a platform, and the upper part of the body was nowhere to be seen. That means the statue was destroyed. It was broken. And the face of the statue, it lay buried in the sand. As you can see the face, it is lying. It was half buried into the sand and half it was above. Whose frown, whose means the statue, frown means angry look. Whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command. Sneer means cruel smile. Cold means without emotions, heartless you can say. Cold command. Command is full of hatred. The statue of a king who had a very stone heart, who was not filled with emotions, who used to command, who used to give command without any feelings, thinking for the others. Tell that its sculptor well those passions red, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things. So that traveler is saying that when he saw that shattered statue and the expressions on the face of that shattered statue, he's saying the face of the statue lay buried in the sand. Then he praises, he appreciates the talent of the artist, the sculptor, the person who made that statue, because he has observed the minutest expression of the king and he has given those expressions to that statue which was made up of stone. By looking at the statue, you can easily make out, by looking at the expressions, you can easily make out that the king had the angry looks. The king was not filled with emotions. So that's why he praises the talent of the artist, as the minutest expressions and wrinkles had been perfectly copied by him on that statue. Now, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. Hand means what? Here hand means the sculptor. Remember, here hand means the sculptor that mocked them. Mocked means made fun of. And the heart that fed. Heart is the heart of the king. And fed means that the cruel emotions in the heart of the king. So this sculptor had really made fun of the cruel emotions which were in the heart of the king, because this statue is no more. It has it has shattered, it had been destroyed, it has now become a ruin. So basically the poet wants to say that in life also one should not be egoistic, because how powerful you are, you should not have the ego in yourself, because one or the other day when you will leave this world, you will not take anything with you. Everything will be left behind. We came in the world empty handed and we are going to leave this world empty handed. So one must not show the excessive pride and ego in front of others. So the engraving on the platform reflects the pride and arrogance of Ozymandias. As you can see here, this is the platform on which the statue was there. So some words are written on this platform. We'll be reading in the next stanza. As the statue is now destroyed, the engraving, the sentence, the words which are written on that platform is a mockery, is actually making fun at the pride and ego of the king. Because today, after so many centuries, finally there is no sign of the king's achievements in the huge stretch of the desert. As so many centuries have passed, the statue has been shattered. Now nothing can be seen in that desert. The only thing which can be seen far, far away is the sand which is lying there, and in that desert the shattered statue is there. Here you have the second stanza of the poem. In this stanza, what you can see, just look at the picture. There you can see two vast legs, trunkless legs. The upper part of the body is not there. And here is the platform on which this statue was standing. Alright, on which this statue was mounted. So if you are going to little bit, you will zoom the screen, you will find the words written on this platform. The words are, "My name is Ozymandias, king of kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair." So now let's understand the meaning of these lines. And on the pedestal. What is pedestal? Pedestal is actually a base on which a statue is mounted. On the pedestal, these words appear. Now what are the words? My name is Ozymandias. My name is Ozymandias, king of kings. I am the most powerful king. This line shows the arrogance of the king. This line shows the pride which that king had. Look on my works. Look on my works means look at my achievements. I'm the most powerful king. Just look at my achievements. Ye mighty means he's talking to the other kings that look at my achievements and just give up all hope. Consider yourself as belittled. Consider yourself as that you are less valued than me. So at the base of the statue, the words are written, "My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look upon my works, ye mighty and despair were engraved." The king introduced himself as Ozymandias, the most powerful king. He ordered all the powerful kings of the world to look at his power and feel less valued in front of the mightiest king, Ozymandias. All right. Now the poet says that now nothing else other than this engraving remains. Nothing beside remains. Now, after the passage of time, as so many centuries have already passed, now what is left? Not even the full statue is left standing in the desert of Egypt. What you can find? A shattered statue. So the lines which are written actually do not have any value today. So what is left today? Only the engraving remains, but there is no reality. All right. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, round the decay of the colossal wreck means if you will look around the ruined parts of that colossal wreck. Colossal means, here colossal means huge, and wreck means destruction. Boundless and bare. Boundless means limitless. Bare means nothing is there. No trees are there, no houses are there, no people are there. What is left? Only you can see the ruined parts of the huge destruction. You can see the trunk, you can see the vast legs, but the entire this entire statue had been shattered. The lone means lonely, level means flat, sands stretch far away. Now what the poet is saying? The poet is saying now only the lonely and flat sands. When you will see to a great distance, what you can find? You can find only sand and the shattered statue of the mightiest king Ozymandias. So this means that nothing is permanent. With the passage of time, everything comes to an end. So one must not show the arrogance, one must not show the pride or the ego. All right, this is what exactly happens in our life also. There are many literary devices in this poem. I have mentioned only 4. Those are personification, imagery, alliteration, and irony. Lastly, the rhyming scheme in this poem is A B A B, A C D C, E D E F, E F. This is all about this poem. Thank you.